there it is.
It's just like...
It shows my age.
The
I don't
big
know
red shiny button.
Alright, it's silver.
Yeah, with red in the middle.
Primary red. Oh, wait. Sorry.
I can't see that. You whores.
I forget everything.
It's all black to me. You should be happy about that.
I mean, yeah.
It's not
That's
gonna
one of-
cut the episode.
Oh, that's how we're starting this. That is how we're starting this. So pretext, yeah, he can't see red. The ginger can't see red. Ain't that a bitch?
It's something special, ain't it? Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got to have a semblance or a superpower.
It's like my lack of seeing color.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
superpower.
Crow level of just like, here's my superpower. I get shit on.
Can you tell me if this fruit's ripe? I don't know.
Are there flies?
Is that an apple? I don't know.
Apples and oranges. I'm good. Anyway, so Volume 7, Chapter 5.
Yeah, you got it. The first try. I'm so proud of you.
I was thinking about it for the past 15 minutes.
Once it was on the screen, I was like, okay.
Memorize that real fast.
Hold.
So yeah, let's get into this episode.
All right. Ready? Here
we go.
Intense rock.
You did. I also just realized, like, you spelled psych in the Volume 6 episode, like P-S-Y-C-H, and not S-I-K-E.
Yeah, because a psych is a psych out.
No, I know why you did it.
Yeah. and as I did it, I was like, someone's gonna bitch about this. Like,
it's me.
And I was like, I know someone's gonna bitch about this.
Someone's gonna try, yeah.
But I don't care.
Right. I find it funny that Marrow's just turning into like the member that's just shit on. Like he's the Jean. No, but like they don't. Well, early Jean, yeah, they definitely just ripped him to shreds.
I want to know why though.
Right.
Because like I don't.
He probably just talks before he thinks.
Well, yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be something simple where he's just like he's just the least mature of them, or you know, something,
or like very just like happy, stupid dog wolf kind of.
Yeah, puppy. Yeah, puppy dog.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That makes more sense now that I think about it.
You know what his weapon is called? Fetch.
Seriously?
It's a boomerang.
I love
back,
that.
Right? So it's
the
like
boomerang chainsaws. Jesus. That's a great name, though.
And pose.
Squad. Little Oscar running up to the...
And I helped.
Right. And me.
It's too
morning,
early.
Team RWBY.
I love her.
Penny, what time is it even?
Time to be huntresses, of course.
Oh, God. Anime poses? Oh, no. Jesus.
How are you changed already?
I'm not... I don't know if I've ever been... Oh.
Eyes up, Huntsman. Time to get used to the new normal.
Oh, we got more montages! Hell yeah. Yeah, that's right, Crow.
Priority is Amity Tower.
This song.
That means protecting supply runs.
This is gonna be the next Bumblebee for me.
Makes sense.
I can already tell.
Yo.
Diverting all construction resources to Amity Tower means there are going to be gaps in Mantle's defenses against Grim.
Oh, they're tired.
They'll need help on the perimeter.
Oh. Casual.
Hey, have you two ever thought about branching out a little? You always pair up, but I don't know if your styles really...
What? Yo. When did they get that skilled in team attacks?
Really good
What were we just talking about? Marrow Ice? Oh, they're so small!
Mantle itself.
Yeah.
I guess those.
Lady Killer Jean!
I guess those would be the thirsty moms.
It's that haircut.
You're of course free to enjoy your time off as you see fit. Whatever helps you take the edge off.
Oh, sister.
Yeah!
You might not hear Oz anymore, Oscar, but that doesn't mean you can't try to jog him loose.
Yes, finally, he gets training.
The huntsman around you can be an
Square up.
invaluable resource
The holodeck.
if you're willing to pay attention.
Oh, this is fun! I was wanting to see this. I like Vine.
Have you ever thought about extending your aura? But make no mistake, school's over. You get to choose what type
This
of
is
huntsman
huge.
or huntress
Right, yeah.
you are.
Get rocked!
So this is just X-Men Danger Room.
Yes, it most definitely is.
Oh, they're racing. Oh, gosh.
Oh, and they're slowly getting accustomed.
What's it gonna be?
Oh.
Whoa!
Hey! No way!
Come on, Lightning Bolt. Aren't you supposed to be fast?
Holy crap!
Wow, your boyfriend's actually holding his own. Where's all that energy when he's around you?
What? What's good, Flint?
The hammer.
What's good? Oh, was she writing it? Oh my lord, that's great.
So that's the rest.
So you've got more horns to talk about.
Well, that's the rest of Team Funky then.
Yeah, that's true. Right. Wasn't it what, Yatsuhashi?
No.
No. That's coffee.
Wow, that was amazing.
Dang.
You guys have really improved since the final tournament. And that cute farm boy had a few surprises for us, too.
Well, you really had us on our toes. Thought you had us there for a second.
Oh, come on.
Pinstripes, though.
It was way more than
I like their...
You guys busy? Want to grab some lunch?
Dewey, I could eat a sandwich the size of Cobalt.
Ah, man. We'd love to, but,
Duty calls. Maybe some other time?
No worries. The next time you're free, just let us know.
Sure.
The fucking shame.
He's got wingtips.
There's still time for sandwiches, right?
I am Nora.
Not that I'm bored, but why can't we just use an airship to take these supplies to Amity?
The components for Amity Tower's construction are far too heavy. All that weight would require precious dust we should be saving for the launch itself, and the grim that will come after.
It just makes for long, very long supply runs.
At least the tundra is scenic.
Nothing ever gets you down, Penny.
It's not
Except for a couple of swords.
I wonder what grim penguins would be like.
Ruby, I just wanted to say how excited
Be
I
that
am
shit
to
from the
work
Bud
with
Light
you.
commercials or whatever.
As friends.
Me too, Penny.
Relationships are so interesting.
Nuts and dolts. Nuts and
Speaking of friends, have you been able to make any new ones?
Why is she?
Since, you know.
Now that I'm the official protector of Mantle, I don't really have a team anymore. General Ironwood says I don't have time for friends.
Oh. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I wish I could do both the things I need to do and the things I want to do. Is that normal?
Yes. And it never goes
About
away.
as normal as it gets, Penny.
Everything going
Ever.
all right up there?
Just fine, Uncle Crow.
Drinking away. What? Ah.
I win again.
It.
Maybe we should call it quits.
Shut up and
What?
Your niece sure is one of a kind, huh?
They all are. Been through a lot together.
That's a good thing they have someone to look up to and get them through it. Not everyone is so lucky.
He's giving him compliments.
I don't know about all that. Thanks, by the way, for looking out for him. You and your team.
What good is saving the world without another generation waiting in the wings? Hopefully they'll leave Remnant better than we left it for them.
Once upon a time, I'd have drank to that.
You shouldn't do that, you know?
Don't worry, I gave that up.
Called it.
I meant deflect a compliment.
Oh.
Those kids wouldn't be where they are without you. You've had more of an effect
No
on them than you
way.
realize.
He's stopped drinking.
Uncle Crow.
We'll see if it sticks.
What's going on? Grim?
No. Worse. You two with me. Penny, stay put and keep an eye on our six.
It's
We may
the
need an element of surprise.
Affirmative. I will plan for 6 possible outcomes.
Not quite the 6 we were expecting.
Right. Hey! Bandits.
Finally, that's Robin.
Ooh.
All right, ladies, time to show them our teeth.
Robin! Well, if it isn't Mantle's hometown hero, is there a reason you're blocking an official military transport?
Clover, I'm so glad you're here. Maybe you can help me understand why this truck that's supposed to be taking construction materials to fix Mantle's outer wall is on its way to the middle of nowhere. Are you lost?
It's pretty easy to get turned around out here in the tundra. Everything looks the same. Thanks for checking up on us, though.
We'll be on our way.
We'll be on
yeah.
I was hoping you'd play it straight with me. What's Ironwood doing with Amity at the old SDC mine?
Oh, that. Just giving her an annual checkup.
The next Vital Festival isn't anytime soon. Only automated drones and a few select Atlas scientists are allowed out here. And Amity's getting invaluable resources we need in Mantle to protect against Grimm. Seems like more than just a checkup.
They're on to us.
You've been scoping it out.
We can't fix the wall without the supplies on these trucks. I think Mantle deserves to know what they're being used for. It doesn't have to be difficult. Just
trigger finger. Whoop.
I'm going to have to pass on that.
How about you, Pipsqueak? 5 o'clock Shadow? Either of you want to tell me why Mantle's being put at risk for Ironwood's pet project?
We're trying to help Mantle.
That's enough, Robin. As a potential councilwoman, you should probably focus on the election instead of harassing.
Oh boy, so she's also up.
Now.
With Papa Jean. All right then.
I think you've misjudged the situation.
Oh boy.
One way or another, these supplies are going to get where they're supposed to go. Mantle.
Then I suggest you do that through the proper legal channels as a councilwoman, if you get elected.
Dang.
Now, where's the fun in that?
All those rocks are people. They're surrounded.
Square up.
Right. All right, Penny. Penny.
Robin Hill, I would like to politely ask that you call off the huntresses approaching the rear of the truck.
Oh.
All right. Joanna, May.
Camouflage.
They were surrounded. I like these doubles.
The protector of Mantle, huh?
Oh.
Let us through, please.
That sheep girl is adorable.
Robin. Good luck at the election.
I always second guess that when it's coming from him. With his semblance and whatnot.
I don't know.
That was a close one.
You're telling me.
What now? I want to know why Amity Coliseum is suddenly so important. Whatever it takes.
Nice. Yeah. The animation for the summons are a lot smoother. Oof.
Stalemate.
Is this like the Schnee version of video games?
Right. Your technique still has those maddening, sloppy touches. But you've learned how to make them work for you. You've made them your own.
Wow. That was very close to a compliment.
I didn't intend
I'll say it was a backhanded
no
compliment.
mistakes, I guess.
You've grown up a bit, haven't you?
What makes
You're
you say
not
that?
the little girl clinging to the family name anymore.
No,
Since
fuck that
baby,
guy.
Right.
I haven't really had a choice. Father's view of the world no longer matches with mine.
Whatever the case, I am glad to see you've moved on. Distancing myself from the Schnee name is the most beneficial thing I've ever done. We can move forward without him. Together. I know General Ironwood would have a place for you.
I would be grateful to him if he did. But I'm not sure I could accept.
Really?
It's just... our kingdom isn't supposed to be like this. Fearful and withdrawn. We should be opening our borders to help the world, not closing them down.
We will, though. Once we weather
She
the
sounds
storm,
like a real
we
nice
will.
politician.
I know the general hasn't done everything perfectly, but he's doing what he thinks is right.
Everybody thinks what they're doing is right. But usually they're just looking out for themselves. And their secrets.
Ironwood isn't keeping secrets. Not from me.
Can you be sure?
Cue musical number. Oh.
Come with me. There's something I want to show you.
Welcome to Genlock. Wait. This looks very medical.
It's just like Umbrella Corp.
Are we gonna get?
I was gonna say OCP, but
remind me to talk about Ruby's mom at the end of this episode because I forgot to last episode. Who's in the cell? Or the experiment? What was I just talking about? Hi, Mom. She is sick. Maybe.
You're assuming that's Mom.
I am assuming that's Mom. I am assuming a lot.
He said the Winter Maiden was in stable condition. So I'm baking that's who that is. Because she would know who her mom was when she
could pass any day now.
saw him through the glass.
Until that happens, I'm the only person Freya's allowed to see.
Ironwood's chosen you to be the next.
all the nose.
When she dies. How long have you known?
Since speaking Fal.
Yeah.
Doesn't it bother you? He practically groomed your whole military career.
Good job, Bruce.
It did at first, when the general first proposed it to me. But the more I thought about it, the more I saw it as a privilege. A chance to do some real good for Atlas. For Remnant.
But your destiny was chosen for you, without your input.
Perhaps. But I'm choosing it now. I've made it my own, and I take great pride in it. That has nothing to do with Father or the General. That belongs to me.
I guess we've both had to do a little bit of that. Carving out our own way.
I suppose we have. Speaking of the family name...
What is he doing?
If I'm elected councilman, I've made it no secret that I will be opposing General Ironwood and his senseless embargo that is crippling all of Atlas. It is my belief that these measures are not only reckless, but criminal. With no shipments allowed to enter or leave the kingdom, I know many are suffering, and my family has been weathering the same storm as many of you. Effective immediately, I'm forced to shut down all non-essential SDC operations.
Oof. Not the alcohol.
I will make the changes necessary to fix what Ironwood has broken. I hope you ask yourself before the vote, can you trust anyone else to stop Ironwood? Will Robin Hill be able to get your jobs back?
Ah, politics.
father may have just provided the spark that's
Oh,
going
he
to
said it.
set this kingdom
Roll
on
credit.
fire.
Oh Jesus! All right, dude.
He gonna get got next.
I was gonna say, yeah. Riots. Riots in the streets.
So he's the one shutting down the well, this is what's weird about people in general. He's the one shutting down operations that will... I like her new style, by the way.
Oh yeah, I like the white. I like the white
because of course she has cat ears on her.
I like but it's also more compact, like everybody else. Like she also got, of all characters, definitely didn't expect to see these two.
Well, they're from Atlas, so...
No, I get it, but still.
I mean, I knew we'd see them eventually, but I just didn't know when. Because the
there
second you get to the academy and all that kind of stuff, they got to be there somewhere.
I will be honest. There are many details I just don't keep in my head, and that was one of them. Is the fact that Flint and Neon, were from Atlas.
But yeah, so he's the one shutting down the operations, so to speak, so that no one has jobs. To then say
he's still defecting Ironwood, blame to Ironwood.
Right, and it's like, well,
did Ironwood actually tell you to shut all those things down?
No. But he just said so. Effective immediately, non-essential.
Yeah, thanks to the SDC.
Yeah. So, which means non-essential meaning everything but what he wants.
Well, yeah.
So it's like, well, I'm going to take these away from you, and you get them back after I get elected.
Yeah.
But don't blame me.
Right.
It's that kind of like.
It's because of the embargo that I'm having to do this.
It's politics, yeah. It's a game of chess.
But that's been like, that's been done so many times in real life. That's what's so funny to me about it. I'm like, oh, we're this again.
Right.
It's like,
been there.
So we have who's in the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry,
You
because my memory is like I remember everything if it's long term. But just watching it right now, I'm not going to remember it if I don't say it real quick.
Of course.
So in that 2-3 episodes ago or whatever it was, when asked about the Winter Maiden and we were talking about how Winter looked down, and was kind of like hesitant, or her body language showed that she knew more than what she was. So that makes sense now.
Because she was the only one allowed to see her.
Yeah, because that way she's the only one that's on
the mind of
Freya.
That's ridiculous.
Which, according to Barbara, Freya means cold in Portuguese.
Yep.
So that's like, okay.
On the nose.
Yeah. Once again. Now, the whole... but there's another thing that I'd mentioned a long time ago, whether it was just in our conversation or whether it was on camera, I don't remember. But there's this idea that the Team RWBY will end up as the Four Maidens by the whole thing is at the end, which seems logical because that's kind of that's a storyboard type thing that's happened before.
Yeah.
And if this keeps following like not known stories, but it's pulling inspiration from all these large amounts of fairy tales and other stuff, that would make sense.
Well, I had an escalation that laddered up to that, because now we have three known maidens who all have a claim to at least 3 of Team RWBY. Because Winter ladders down to Weiss. Yang Mom ladders down to Yang, and
Cinder
goes to RWBY.
Yeah, because the idea that I had before, even before knowing this, was so the last person on Cinder's mind, if she gets killed, is going to be RWBY because they're enemies,
rivals.
Yeah, and then as opposed to it would be, some people might think it might be Emerald or something. I'm sure Emerald thinks it would be Emerald, but right. But like, so that would go to Fall would go to that's right. Fall would go to RWBY. Spring would go to Yang because something would happen to Raven, and then the kind of that regret moment or that piecing together your life that you didn't have, because we don't know where she is now. We know that she teleported to... The only person she had left she could teleport to that wasn't already in the room was Ty.
Yep.
At the end of that one series, so...
And we got a little... And we got that after-series moment with Ty in his garden.
Well, yeah, but
looking at something.
Well, yeah, it was just like a feather. Like, he heard the noise and saw the feather, and so that's he's saying.
That's implicative.
Now, did she hang out and have a discussion? I don't know, but we don't know that part yet.
Well, let's not go too far away because I know you're not finished with your point. But I do also want to mention before I forget, Summer, Ruby's mother. It can't be that easy. It cannot be so on the nose that the last maiden who we haven't heard of, the Summer Maiden.
No, I mean, it could be, but that would be... See, my thought...
That seems too easy.
I know, but I had a thought about that before, too, that Summer... Like, because the only thing we actually have...
And we've talked about the possibility of Ruby's mom being a maiden.
Yeah, because everyone says that's a grave that she was at in the previous episodes, you know, like her mother's grave.
Yeah, but it could be a memorial.
Well, but that's what a grave a grave requires a body. A memorial stone does not.
Exactly.
So if she went on a mission, she never came back. So as part of that mission, did she... And this is, I mean, we had this conversation in Volume 1 that no one ever saw, but then when we had, you know, some people, you guys had caught up.
Yeah.
And Gustav and I had this conversation because we'd seen all of them, that...
back in Volume 2 or 3 when Ruby was...
Whatever mission she went on, like if she found out something that Oz was hiding, didn't tell him, or whatever that has to be, goes, and in the process of that mission, she ends up either being close to, not killing, but being close to or running into the Summer Maiden, and then that switch happens to her, but then she's like, I have a target on my back, I'm not going back to the family where the target's on them too, and so stays in exile.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a standard thing too.
Yeah.
That shows up in a whole bunch of myths, fairy tales, legends.
For sure.
So
like she's just chilling in Vacuo somewhere.
That seems to
that's what I'm thinking. Is
right.
Like,
that's a strong
but
theory.
the only thing that tanks that theory though is that Crow knows who all the maidens are because it was his job partially to keep up with all of them.
That's right.
So I'm kind of curious as how that would play out or something like that. So that's the hinge pin in that, where it's like I could totally see that happening except for that one fact that Crow knows who they all are because he's kept tabs on them or has been in contact as he travels for Oz and stuff. But
the other twig I was going to say is, of course we can't possibly know, but how is Blake going to get a maiden power? Because Summer also seems to ladder towards Ruby.
That's only if it's her mom.
Exactly. Again, crackhead theory at this point. Like, there's no basis. It's down the rabbit hole. But yes, as you were.
So yeah, those ladder down, and then the thing that I mentioned before too was that people were theorizing that their mom was the Winter Maiden.
Yeah,
obviously it's not, but
it's not. But I was one of those people. I'm fine with being debunked.
Yeah,
I really did think it was. I was so sure it was just
well,
like.
no, they kind of let it that way. It's like, she's stable. It's okay. Well, maybe she's sicker than normal
and
now.
white-haired.
Yeah, or older. Like they were talking about. But so in order for that to, it's kind of a game of sacrifices at this point.
Right.
Cinder gets beaten somehow, and last thing on her mind is Ruby. Probably because she ends up doing the beatdown, maybe, or something, right?
Right.
Raven sacrifices herself to save Yang.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing that would be on her mind would be who she's sacrificing herself for. Same thing for Winter.
Winter's not going. Yeah, this theory. This theory ladders that Winter's going to die.
Well, yeah, because I'm
when some kind of.
And part of me hopes that once everything's said and done, that it's the bittersweet theory. Like the victory comes to the people that deserve it, but only after like a whole bunch of loss.
At what cost?
Yeah. Because you kind of they already went there, and like obviously in Volume 3.
Of course.
So
yeah,
so there's not like,
There's a precedent.
Yeah. There's no precedent for that, so we're not going to like. It's like no. It's like it became Game of Thrones real quick.
Right.
For the end of a volume, you know.
Our world now, like the far end of consequence, is an entire planet getting wiped of humans. Like that's the far end. Not to say that it's going to happen again, but like anything's possible now. We just saw everyone go, like.
Yeah.
Everything's fair game now in the world of consequence. Nothing could be worse than watching an entire planet get nixed of their humanity.
And it's funny because like I have zero to bridge this a little bit. I don't really have any problems with people shipping characters for whatever, but to me, that's the level 1 game of character development and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
And however that goes is fine. I literally have zero complaints about how it's been done thus far. If the Bumblebee thing does pan out to be 1,000%, great.
Cheers.
I'm totally fine with that.
Now
if it doesn't, that's fine too. But I'm curious as to why. Like I want to know how they write this out, whether it happens or not, and what that entails.
Just don't make it cheap.
Yeah, but my biggest thing is the long, like what I'm most interested in all the time when it comes to stories and stuff like this, is I want to know the long game of, you know, how does this end up and why does it end up that way? So you have all the level 1 stuff, but then like level 3 stuff is getting the long game to what we're talking about now with, okay, we could chess this together for being like how this might work out. And it might be totally off and it might be on the nose. It doesn't matter, but that's when people talk about theorizing and stuff, that's the theorizing I like, is the big game of chess, how it could play out and what the writers might choose. And
especially when there's like 5 choices that all seem like viable.
Right.
Like it doesn't, I don't see a ladder for just like 1 or 2 choices. There's so many moving pieces who've all been given enough time and development to where they can either like pivot the story or absolutely just die.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm most curious about, is how that ends up being played out.
Yeah.
And you know, in the beginning it's like, okay, I've got 8 main characters, or you got 4 main characters, you got 4 secondary characters.
Supporting leads.
Yeah, and then you've got everyone else that kind of contributes or whatever. And now you've got...
God bless.
Yeah, now you've got 6 storylines going that all have their own main characters as part of that, and you're waiting to see how each of those develops, because you can't make a prediction until like storyboard 1 and 2 resolve, whatever those are.
No, exactly.
To know what storyboard 3 is going to pan out as.
It was a lot like Game of Thrones, where everything developed into 8 storylines. Let's just hope the show doesn't end like Game of Thrones does.
I think it will, in the sense of there's going to be a finality to it. It's not going to be a cliffhanger type thing.
Yeah, good.
But the way, I mean, so this is Volume 7. Volume 8 is being written now, and Volume 9 was already cleared to be made.
Yep.
So they can be way more ahead of the game than they were before.
True.
To like plot stuff out. So I think very much. Did you ever see the show Fringe?
No, but I've heard plenty about it.
Okay, so it's like 5 seasons, right?
Right.
And the greatest thing that I liked about Fringe compared to, say, X-Files, which I grew up on X-Files,
right,
was that X-Files just kind of meandered around. You had the Monster of the Week, but you had this overarching alien story that never really finished, kind of, and it just kind of kept, like, wandering, right?
Your Fringe is my heroes.
Well, Fringe had a beginning, the entire thing happened, and there is a definitive ending. Like, so they began the season, it went all the way to an ending, as opposed to getting canceled early and then deciding to just make the best of it. And so I think it'll end like Game of Thrones, in the sense of there's going to be a definite ending, and it's probably going to be a bittersweet kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's actually going to be written all the way to the end, as opposed to, oh shit, we got one more season to do, but
and we're done.
We're only going to do like 5 episodes for it, or something weird, you know.
What do you think about Robin? I thought she was going to be much less involved in the politic and more just like, fuck the man, fuck like.
Well, I was gonna say a second ago, because like, well, we have Schnee, Ironwood, and Robin all going for the council seat.
Yeah, this council seat.
Have they said who's in that seat right now, or?
I think it's an open seat.
Okay.
So I think.
I didn't think Ironwood was running.
I think he still has his 2 seats. I think this is another seat that's open. and he has a because he has a seat because of the military side of it. I'm sorry, he has a council seat, but then the headmaster of the academy has a seat, so that's why he occupies two. Right now, Jacques doesn't have any seat.
Yeah.
And then Robin doesn't have any seat. So I think there's one open, and one of the two of them are going to like.
It seems like a two-way.
Yeah, and depending on who gets in there, they're going to be the ones. Now they both want to push back against.
Yeah, they both don't like Ironwood, which is a surprising thing to meet in the middle.
But for different reasons. So,
exactly. One is definitely more for the people, and one
which,
is
if they would have just said, "Look, here's the deal." Like, I know they wouldn't because of compartmentalization, all these other things, and whatever. But if they would have just said, "We need to get this stuff to the arena because we're trying to reestablish communications for everybody." You know, inside, outside, you know.
Yeah, I feel like there was a way they could have finagled, like, a stopgap answer.
Yeah.
That wasn't, like, a total lie, but not the full truth.
Right.
Because it's... My first thought was like, oh, they can't talk about Salem. And I'm just like... Well, it's also about, like, what, a worldwide satellite?
Yeah. So it's to reestablish communication. So it's like...
Right.
You know,
There's...
If you just gave at least of, like, a thing of, like, this has to do with a technology thing that's for the betterment of everybody, not just Atlas, not just, you know...
That takes priority.
Yeah. It's going to benefit Mantle, as well as Atlas, as well as this, as well as that, or something.
But instead we got, like, banter.
Yeah.
At least
but
we
they
know that
have to do that to, like, cloak and dagger it a bit. And,
But at least Robin and Clover know each other, and it seems that... It does seem that Robin is higher up in this hierarchy than I thought she was. I really thought
they brought in Christina V for her voice actor.
Oh, wow.
So...
Good for her.
So it's a main character, you know. I mean, you know, like...
yeah, no 2-bits going.
yeah, Forrest, the guy in the back of the van. You know, it's like, man, I want... he's like this version of, Volume 7's version of, what was the head of, the White Fang? That,
Sienna Khan.
Sienna.
God.
This is like, hey, they put some detail into that guy. Wait, he's got some good dialogue. Like, he seems to be someone they could flesh out. I wonder how he's going to play a role in, like...
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be kind of on the... Maybe not one of the Robin's people.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, he's leaning that way as far as, like, maybe having some kind of input. No, forget it.
Next.
Oh, the last thought I had is, earlier on, whenever it happened, Oz was always talking about how someone's semblance could always evolve and keep growing. Now that Crow is not drinking anymore, I question what's going to start, what that's about, if that's going to turn into something else.
And if he's going to start drinking again before the end of the season.
Well,
I'm such a pessimist. I really think that's not going to last.
Well, he was always drinking to kind of suppress, you know, what would happen.
No, I know, but so. I think that's a much more exciting question than...
Well, that's... Okay, so the theory, like what we talked about before was, is he drinking to... is he drinking to forget how shitty life is because of his semblance? Or did he figure out that if he's not...
sober.
If he's not thinking about his semblance, then... it doesn't affect...
It's putting a self-damper.
Yeah. You know, it's turning the volume down on it type thing.
I'll toss the third one out there. That sounds so stupid. Is his semblance just based on his mood, and he was always a pessimistic bastard, so it brought misfortune?
Well, yeah, we've talked about that.
Because this may sound... This is another crackhead theory, but, like... It would not surprise me if, like, the plot twist is that it's not misfortune, it's just whatever fortune, like... It's the self-fulfilling prophecy, whatever fortune he brings, if he's...
Yeah, because I was thinking that, but the fact that they've brought Clover in here, like, oh, well, I'm good luck. It really wouldn't make sense for Crows to be, oh, well, depending on my mood, I can do either.
Well, it just wouldn't work as an opposite, but I don't think it would cancel out Clover. It would be different. It wouldn't be as...
A variation on...
Yes, it wouldn't be as cinematic. If it was mood-based fortune and not misfortune. But it's still worth thinking about. It's just like, what's going to change? Will something change based on his sobriety?
I mean, clearly he's getting dealt shit in the back of a van. So,
when did he stop drinking? Because remember, based on timeline, like... Oh, wait, that montage actually gave them time for weeks to happen. Because I had misremembered that, like, the Kraken fight or the Godzilla fight was like 2 days.
Well, there was a part where he was in the ship where he started to drink. at the end of Volume 6, but then he kind of just put it down.
So he just... So it was on the way to Atlas when he decided to stop.
Yeah.
So it's still.
So he still knew.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go through. Man, I wonder if we're gonna have to see him go through the cold turkey. That'd be rough.
Or relapse, or.
That's the thing. It's like, will that affect him in a mission? We'll see.
Well, if he's not showing delirium tremens by now, then it's not.
I guess not.
Going down.
But speaking of going down,
maybe his semblance happens to like help that out.
Right.
You know?
Speaking of going down, I'm tired, so let's. Damn, I thought that was gonna be more. All right, bye. I need a drink.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Ugh, shit.